to all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines. Selah. Hello and welcome, beloveds, to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms, beloveds, because there's so much propaganda and lies. And right now, if you're any way connected to the Babylon system, there's a merging of truth and fiction as they try and get people into their quote-unquote metaverse. Thanks to everyone that supports us on Patreon. We appreciate, love you so much. And for everyone that has subscribed to the channel, who likes, shares, and comments. It's really important, beloveds, as I say, for us to support our Black consciousness warriors, online, because they're always, they don't want us to be the image of the awakening, so it's always anyone who is bringing you that truth, beloved, support, like, share. And there's many on here who are bringing the many truths, and there's one alternative truth that I want to bring. I was meditating yesterday and I just felt that a lot of people, because a lot of people have contacted me and they're having blocks here and there, and so I was kind of praying and bringing their hopes, desires, pain to the Most High. And the message I got is a lot of people's issues and problems right now is because it's because of their loose mouth. Let me just put it like that. It's because of the loose mouth and the loose thinking, beloveds. Like, we really need to graduate from any kind of negativity towards someone else, because right now, there's certain people that are above the consciousness of this world. Like, you can't reach them. And so everything is you. Anything you're sending out, think about it like you're doing it to yourself. Any negative thought you're having of others, you're having of yourself. So that stuff is going to boomerang. People now, we've moved into like a new atmosphere. We've moved into a new dimension, a new realm, where spiritually there's so many reinforcements and other things that have come in. And so the people who you could attack yesterday and suffer no consequences, it's a different story today. Because a lot of people have done the work and they are now raised on that dimension. So anything you do will come back to you. And if they want, if the spirit, if their ancestors or if their guardian angels make them aware that you have sent them some kind of beauty spell, or you've sent them negative intentions, or you've tried to mash up their name or anything like that, and they become aware of that, they can triple that spell back to you, man. Send it back to sender sevenfold, tenfold. And the thing is, when I say our ancient ones are back, beloveds, and our ancestors are back, and the messiahs are back, I'm not joking. Like, there are some very high level beings walking amongst us. Yeah, even like nearly, high level, beloveds. And you just giving them some kind of side eye could be the cause of your problems. Like, for real, for real. And that's why focus on self. Don't focus on other people's characters, and definitely don't pick fights with people, because you're just seeing people in the playground, but you don't know who's behind certain people, beloveds. I recognize, like, I have won every spiritual war because I'm of higher rank spiritually than those who came against me. It's not luck. It's not that, my prayers were more powerful than your prayers. It's because I am of higher spiritual rank, beloveds. That's why I survived. Whether I recognize that or not at the time, whether I was spiritually asleep or spiritually awake, I am that I am. So this is just a cautionary word. It's about you. You want to get out of your quagmire, of your situation, and move into this heaven on earth. So keep your thoughts clean, beloveds. Keep your words clean. I mean, you should be above thinking bad thoughts about someone else. Like, where are you even getting the time to do that? Or even engaging or putting yourself in that kind of energy right now. Because, those that are of higher rank that are walking amongst us, they have their armies. They're not just walking like some of you with one guardian angel or two guardian angels. There's people who are walking. I've already said this so many times. Millions of spiritual beings follow them because they are literally kings of nations, queens of nations, rulers of worlds, not just a little country, rulers of worlds, beloveds. But you see, we've been so limited in our thinking that we just think everyone's the same. And that's the danger of this democracy, because they've tried to make it seem like this is some kind of spiritual democracy. It's not. And there's even something in the scripture that talks about be careful of the beggar who you ignore or something like that, because that could be an angel in disguise, blah, blah, blah. You see, they use all these basic words. And the problem is, unfortunately, a lot of you have been kept in kindergarten because of the religious psychosis. But we are not the same. There are different, really high ranking spiritual beings here who, who are here, they've been called here, beloveds. If you make their life even a little bit more difficult than it needs to be, if you're not part of their narrative, then you will fall in your life, or you will start to notice things falling in your life. These are the times we're in. You see, before, certain things were allowed to happen because we were in a different atmosphere. That's how I'll say it. We were in a different spiritual realm, what many call the dark ages. So many couldn't be reached by their armies, by their peoples fully. But now that's totally changed. And many of those people were in that time were used as like, educators. They facilitated certain education. They helped people come into their giftings. They helped people learn how to, deflect the nature of, the negative vibe, the nature of hatred, the nature of envy, the nature of jealousy, the nature of loyalty and disloyalty. Like they gave those people certain lessons, but school's over, beloveds. We're in the season of graduating. We ain't here to learn nothing no more. So the spell you did on me when I was 10 could take you out now, because I'm a whole different person. And I'm not just speaking about me, I'm speaking about the chosen ones, beloveds. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
Welcome back, beloveds, to Wake Up Africa. This is just a cautionary tale to let people know, be very, very cautious of how you're thinking about others, how you're speaking about others, because we are not all the same. There are many different high ranking spiritual beings walking amongst us. High ranking. There are, like, the example that Spirit gave me is like, there are many chosen ones. There are many messiahs here. Many have been called from nations. Many kings, many queens have reincarnated for such a time as this. Who were the messiahs of their time, the messiahs of their generation, the master teachers, the master builders of their age. They're walking amongst us now. They've been called here. And so you may be chosen, but there may be someone who's more, I don't want to say more chosen, but there's ranks to this in the spiritual realm. There are many chosen ones. You may be a small level chosen one, and you're trying to roll with the big boys. You know what I mean? Or the big girls. And as a chosen one, beloved, start to look at your life, how you've avoided and averted certain things. where it really looked like the world was against you, but somehow you came through. That should tell you your ranking in the spirit. Start to recognize and honor that and carry yourself in that light, beloved. Because you see, many of the powers that we've come here only work when we're in service to others, which is why so many chosen ones have been misunderstood, because they have that spirit of service where they will always, I don't want to say put themselves down, but they will always humble themselves. Some of you, many can see who you are. You're ranking in spirit, but maybe you can't. You know you're a chosen one, but you don't know that you're a high level chosen one. And I don't want to create these rankings, but they exist in the spiritual world. You see, this thing that we're all equal is a lie, beloved. And some of your issues now may be coming from the fact that even back then, there's some things you engaged in with your thoughts, with your words, with your comments that were against an anointed one, beloved. And that could be where your issues are coming from. So, really, the best thing to do is to just focus on yourself. Do you. Get busy preparing your physical world and moving into the physical world, because it's through nature that you'll get the gates to go into the different worlds that are emerging now. Through reconnecting with nature, re-overstanding nature, reintroducing yourself to nature. Get busy with that, beloveds. Recognize that anything, like right now, like that whole reality of you could send sickness and spells to people, maybe I should do a whole different video on that. It's done. It's done, beloveds. That stuff ain't working anymore. It's like this that programming's been erased or something, or overridden, you know? So everything is coming back to you. Everything is yourself. So be careful what you're thinking, because that's what's building your world. And just know how you're treating people, beloveds, because a lot of your solutions, I told you, your keys, your solutions, your healing, your blessings, your messages from the Most High come through people. And they, and the new teachers, builders, healers of the Most High of this time won't look like your preachers and pastors of yesterday. They may be younger than you, they may be alternative, they may look, they may not speak in the language that you want them to speak in. And all these things are just gonna slow you down, not them. Because they are who they are. The spirit loves that boldness. So just remember that it comes through people, man, and leave those prejudices of people, because there's some highly anointed people who are they're living their life as they want, as they're defined, but they're awake and they're coming into their callings, and they're prophetically accurate. Their healing is unorthodox but precise, beloveds. Stay uplifted. Tuko pamoja.